am Grimes County Judge, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here to speak about this. From the beginning of this project, I have been opposed to it based on the toll road capacity, not in conflict with the regional objectives, but mainly due to I felt there was a gap between the need of the local community being incorporated into the regional objective. Specifically with respect to access to the infrastructure for economic development. You see, Grimes County has some very low statistics, 20% lower than state median income. We have a very low tax base there. And this project itself brings newfound opportunity to Grimes County, newfound proximity to Houston. Instead of being an hour from Beltway 8, it will be 30 minutes. So that's a tremendous game changer for a county with very little assets that are taxable. But it's more about the type of infrastructure was my concern with it, and specifically locations for economic development to occur. We have last year we had a $19 million budget. We have very little monies available to pursue infrastructure needs to accommodate economic development. And so I felt it would be a tragedy if this project was constructed through the county and we did not have some opportunity to take advantage of that through improved access than what was on the proposal. So I was pushing for a non-toll road is what I've been pushing for, and I've shared that in many meetings with the organization. This has been well known, but I understand the magic fairy is gone now. I didn't realize it when I first started. I do recognize and acknowledge the financial constraints of TxDOT, and I thought it was timely. Also, I didn't realize y'all were going to be talking about your organization, but I want to say, as I have been somebody that's been sitting on the opposite side of that table, expressing the concerns of our local citizens in our county, you do have a first-class organization. They were very professional. They have listened to my concerns objectively, and specifically, General Weber recently wrote a letter that was a very big first step at addressing some of those local concerns, and I want to thank you very much for that attempt, for your efforts in trying to address those concerns. I do feel that there are still some improvements that can be made for us to work together to win over the hearts of the local population to where they feel this is a good thing for Grimes County too. And I don't think we're that far from it. It's just specifically centered around the economic development. The Commissioner's Court did vote, as you saw on that resolution. They did vote to support the resolution. I was the sole vote in opposition or against the resolution in favor of the road because I feel we are very close to being there. I want to explain that it was at that same Commissioner's Court meeting where I was able to explain or let out the information that the General had provided me with respect to their attempt to address my concerns. I don't feel the Commissioner's Court has had ample time to consider the impact of the original proposed toll road versus some of the considerations that need to be made due to this proposal. In addition to that, I think that if there were some more room for some improvement, I think some hearts could be won over, and really you find a lot of support in the county for it if we can get to there. I have been reaching out to city council members. There are some other resolutions that have been passed in opposition of the road, but a lot of those will be reconsidered. I have confirmed they're putting them back onto their city council meetings to reconsider those in light of some of this. So it's really having the conversation with the community and understanding that y'all are trying to address some of the local concerns, because I really feel ultimately to the county we're talking tens of millions of dollars over the next 15 to 20 years in tax revenue, with the difference between having that infrastructure that we can utilize versus not having it. So again, I appreciate very much what y'all are doing and trying to work with Grimes County to find a common ground that not only makes it palatable for Grimes County, but can actually benefit it as well.
Thank you, Judge. Next speaker, Peter Canney, Mayor Pro Tem City of Navasota. Did I get that right? Thank you.
Chairman Houghton, Commissioners, General Weber, thank you for this opportunity to reaffirm the unequivocal support of the City of Navasota for the Highway 249 project. The City of Navasota has, from the outset, been in favor of the Highway 249 project, participating in both the Highway 249 partnership, of which I am the Vice Chairman, and the membership of city officials and staff on the Highway 249 Working Group. You may have seen some of our members on the slide. Together with county officials at the outset, we worked closely with TxDOT to provide input regarding the alignment of the Grimes County segment, especially with respect to sensitive areas and the most desired route or routes doing least harm to private properties. With the MOU, we sought to alleviate, to the extent possible, the objection that Highway 249 would bypass Navasota, effectively cutting off economic opportunities. And we are satisfied that that will not happen. The City of Navasota and its residents continue to support the Highway 249 project. The city, its council members, administration, and staff have not had negative feedback from Navasota residents, though we have had information-seeking questions. We have also had information-seeking questions from Grimes County residents who are aware that we possess knowledge regarding the 249 project and want our take on it. A county resident who has property that is directly in the path of the current proposed alignment is in favor of the project, but sought my advice on how best to approach and negotiate with TxDOT to his best short and long-term advantage. This person recognizes the potential for growth and the increased value of his property that the project will create. In fact, he hopes the feeder road will be on his property. From our observations, those in opposition are a small but highly vocal group that have succeeded in swaying certain political entities. To the best of our determination, they do not represent the majority of county residents. A few of these individuals are anti-government, some are anti-change, some have particular financial agendas at work, and quite a few are anti-toll. Frankly, the anti-government contingent are true believers and cannot be reasoned with. Those opposed to change must be convinced to finally accept that no change is the one option no longer on the table. The only options are managed change or imposed change. A look at the expansion northward from the Houston area and what happened to Hempstead is ample and obvious proof of this. Failure to recognize this is wishful thinking. Those with financial agendas will have their agendas regardless of anything we do. Those opposed to toll roads can be debated. There are only two ways to pay for a road, tolls or taxes. As we know, the road ferry is dead. Tolls are user fees. If you don't use it, you don't pay for it. With taxes, you pay for it regardless, so choose your pain. It is important for TxDOT to know that from Navasota's perspective, a significant number of Grimes County residents, and that of course includes Navasota, support the Highway 249 project, recognize its economic value, and will continue to work with TxDOT for the best possible solution with the best positive, least negative impact.
And member of TAG, thank you.
Thank you much,
Jeff.
Commission General. I want to just say I'm up here, I'm a board member of TAG. We're up here for Greenlight Houston, but I'd be remiss if I didn't get to take the opportunity to speak on this as being a property owner and a resident of Grimes County. I want to echo what Senator Williams said. This project, I do support the project. It's needed. The county is growing. Ever since I've owned property there, it's been amazing. They're coming our way. If you look at the 249 corridor between Texas A&M, the high-speed rail is proposed to go through the county. This is a project I support, and I hope y'all take that into consideration. Thank you.
Next is David Tullos, Coordinator, Grimes County Advisory, Citizens Advisory. Did I get it right, David? All right. Welcome.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is David Tullos. I'm a coordinator for the Grimes Citizen Advisory Group. We are a grassroots citizen advocacy organization based in Grimes County and the surrounding region. Our membership actually consists of over 600 citizens and landowners who actually live in the area where the road will pass through Grimes County. Many of those citizens are at home right now in front of their computer watching the live stream of this meeting with great interest in what we talk about here today. We are actively opposed to the State Highway 249 toll road in Grimes County for a number of reasons. Now, here are just 10 of those reasons, but this is by no means all the reasons why this project is bad for Grimes County. Number one, at every opportunity, whether it's a TxDOT public meeting, a Stop Grimes 249 meeting, a Grimes Citizen Advisory Group meeting, or the Grimes County Planning Commission, an overwhelming majority of Grimes County citizens present have opposed this project. In fact, the Navasota Examiner newspaper conducted a poll in which over 80% of the respondents opposed this project. Number two, Grimes County Commissioners Court has passed 2 resolutions against this project. The last one, which occurred on February the 10th, just 16 days ago, opposes toll roads in Grimes County and specifically names this project. A copy of the Grimes County resolution is attached to my written comments here today. Number 3, the town of Anderson and the city of Iola, both in Grimes County, have passed resolutions opposing the 249 toll road project. Again, copies of both those resolutions will be attached to my written comments. Number 4, the Grimes County Sub-Regional Planning Commission opposes this project and has had a no toll road policy since 2008. Number 5, the new governor of Texas is against toll roads and has declared transportation to be an emergency item. Now, this should allow his new funding initiatives to be fast-tracked and considered earlier than normal. He has promised to add $4 billion a year more to roads without raising taxes, fees, debts, or tolls. Number 6, we believe that TxDOT has violated federal law in the planning of this project. Number 7, we also believe that TxDOT has violated state law in the planning of this project. Number 8, this project will damage and diminish the property values of the land along its proposed right-of-way. Number 9, this project will have a permanent negative impact on the long-term economic development of southern Grimes County. And number 10, this project will damage the Hurricane and Mill Creek watershed, which is the major watershed for southern Grimes County. So on February 18th, TxDOT held a public hearing for the State Highway 249 toll road segment, which passes through Montgomery County and terminates in Grimes County on FM 1774. TxDOT stated that if approved, construction on that segment would not begin until late 2016, early 2017. Now that would seem to negate the need to make an early decision on the Grimes County segment of State Highway 249. Now we are aware that individual conversations and non-binding agreements have been pursued with our county judge and with the city of Navasota. But we would point out once again that Grimes County Commissioners Court voted against this project and that the county judge was the only dissenting vote. With regards to the city of Navasota, over 500 petition signatures opposing this project were collected in a 12-hour period from Navasota residents, including over 50 signatures from Navasota business owners and their employees. So in summary, we believe this is a bad project. We don't want it. Our government leaders don't want it. So we would ask that you hold off on what you're doing, sit down with our elected officials, and develop a transportation plan that makes sense for the long-term economic development of southern Grimes County. And I thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak here today.
Thank you. Okay, Commissioner Mosley, this is in your area.
Chairman, members, I think pretty amazing that we were able to put $100 million into a placeholder for this project. And the only way that the roadway really works is to find a place for managed lanes. But if the community really doesn't feel like the roadway merits our focus, then there's a lot of other projects around the state that could use the $100 million. And I'm Senator, I appreciate your being here, and Judge, I appreciate your being here. Mayor, thank you for your statements, Mr. Tullos. But honestly, if the project doesn't have local support, then I think that's something we have to weigh heavily, Chairman. And I think it's a good project. I think it's a strategic corridor, and it clearly would be a wonderful tie to the Houston economy. And it's a wonderful strategic goal. But if it doesn't have local support, then I don't know that we should hold the money for this project.
Russell?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I've got a couple questions, and I want to echo Commissioner Mosley's comments. You know, if it's not supported, then we need to look at other places, because there are a lot of other communities that have support that need the money now, and the planning dollars and the time and talent to be invested in that. But what I've heard from some of the speakers, we want the road, we want the economic development, we want the access. Houston's growing, but yet just don't toll it. And I think it's kind of a double-edged sword. You know, just like in real estate business, not every you can't put a Class A office building on every corner. But if the support is not there as a toll road, then we look at other traditional funds. You know, that's just one tool. That's one way to expedite it. It's a choice. It's not the only choice. I think Commissioner Mosley laid it out well. If we don't do it, if it's not done that way, I'll say that's not what the community wants, then what time frame might we be looking at under traditional sources based on where it is in the plan, regional support, to be able to fund it that way?
First off, the project itself is roughly a $240 million project. The commission has set aside $100 million in the Uniform Transportation Plan for this project. The remainder of those funds, 140 plus million plus or minus, would come from the toll revenues that the project would produce. That was the original plan. In looking at, to answer your question, sir, in looking at when $140 million of funds from other sources might become available for this facility, there's nothing in the 10-year UTP at this point besides that $100 million. So the commission would have to take action at some point to move additional funds to the project.
Thank you for that, for clarifying that. Let me ask one other thing. You know, I heard a lot of comments. We want improved access. We want economic development. I heard Hope Properties on the feeder road is there. What are we really talking about with access? Are we looking at interchange? Are we looking at feeder frontage roads? All of the above? Based on the discussions of what you've heard from everybody, what are we really talking about?
The proposed project at this point would have 4 interchanges. It's roughly 10 miles in length. So approximately every 2 to 3 miles there would be an interchange. We're actually either putting an interchange or a overpass at each and every road we cross. All county roads, all state facilities. We're not cutting off anything that's out there. As you look at, I think one of the concerns that has been expressed as far as economic development and such goes, when you look at Grimes County, there really isn't a plan, if you will, for a road system out there. On the southern end of the county, for the most part, there are no roads. The 4 roads that we cross and have interchanges at, pretty much it for 10 miles out there. So looking at how we're working with the county, and we've had meetings with several of the commissioners and the judge to try to help them think about what their county would look like in the future. One of the issues that we face in this particular discussion is there's not a good plan for what they're going to be needing in the future. So therefore, we can't fix something for them or help them fix something when they don't know what it is they're actually want to do for the future of their county.
Can I ask a question? I'm make sure I'm on target here. I'm hearing a lot of stuff, and obviously there's some angst about the road here. But are we still talking? We're still trying to work this through at this point in time, or is it we're not voting here today, right?
No.
So
it's more direction.
Yeah. So I would hope we continue to talk. This is an important project opportunity, and it would be going to be very challenging for Grimes County to get this done by any method other than the way it's getting done.
Mayor,
and
Judge, can you come up? I'm sorry, go ahead, Victor.
Well, I was just going to say, speaking for projects that I've seen in the metropolitan area that I'm familiar with, and granted it's metropolitan, but it used to be rural. When you pass the opportunity, it doesn't come back for 30 years. I mean, we're going to vote on a project here in a little bit that it doesn't come up again. It's been 30 years since it was originally envisioned. So I just encourage you to keep talking about this. This is a way to get it done.
What I would like to propose is, yes, Commissioner Vandergriff, is we continue to talk and find resolution. I have been involved in the project early on, not most recently, because I thought it had legs, and now it's hit a little speed bump, but no pun intended. If we can continue to develop ideas that meet the county needs and Mayor Pro Tem, the Navasota, the city's needs in that area, we'd be mindful of economic opportunity. We have folks in this building and other buildings that are great planners that can talk about economic opportunity and show you what roads do when they're put in, even toll roads. We've seen it in North Texas. We've seen it in Houston. I mean, they're all over. We've got great examples of that. So I would hope that we still have an open mind as to meeting the... Now, we're not going to make everyone happy. I know we're not going to do that. But we just got to meet the needs of the, not only now, but the future. This offers a great opportunity. Texas A&M and its tie to the medical center, the bio research going on up there. As Senator Williams said, the congestion's coming. So I think we have a great opportunity, as Commissioner Vandergriff said, a 30-year cycle. I don't think we want to wait 30 years on this one. So I hope, Judge, you'd have an open mind, and your people would have an open mind. Mayor Pro Tem, I would hope we could get the right people at the table, our folks, to figure something out.
Absolutely. And can I clarify an earlier comment I made? I just want to make it clear that I've always been for a road, for the infrastructure. I want to make that clear. It's the access to it is all I'm trying to figure out a way to get access to.
And I think we can get that. I think that we can get that done. I just think we need to continue to develop ideas on how we can help get that done.
I think for my part, I agree we need to move forward, and I think if we wait 30 years, the project will be incredibly difficult to do, because if you visit Grimes County, the most southern portions are beginning to fill in. And if we come back to it 30 years later, there are going to be people building houses. And it will make it more difficult to find a path that isn't going to start encroaching on infill. So we need to start coming to an agreement fairly soon about where we're going to put the road. That's one concern of mine as well. So we need to keep talks ongoing to come to a compromise that fits as many needs as we can.
Right.
And move forward with the project.
I think you have pretty good direction, Russell. I mean, we have to, it takes two to tango, and if you all are willing, I think we're very willing. And Senator, do you have any last things, or you're okay with that, or?
I'd just like to say thank you to the commission. If y'all give some time, I think the county judge and commissioners on that court are working hard to address. There's some legitimate concerns that can be addressed, and I appreciate you giving them time to work this out. It's critical to the university that I represent. It's also critical to the quality of life in the community that I love and have loved for over 20 years. So thank you.
Thanks. Senator, I have one question. Where is the largest university in the state of Texas?
It's in College Station, Texas.
And what is your student attendance population?
We're around 56,000, I think, is where we are now. I don't know the exact number, so
and the second largest would be right here.
It'd be the 40 acres just north of your right.
I bring that up is to look at access. We talk about Texans moving in here for jobs, everything else, but we forget when we talk about jobs, we forget about the intellectual capital that our education facilities create. And UT has the benefit of an interstate coming through here, one of the busiest roads, and to make sure, I hear from fellow Aggie and Representative Ashby, access coming in from the other side, coming from East Texas. But with the largest university, the research that goes on there, the things that, and the people, the talent that go across the world, across the country coming out. I'm not an Aggie, by the way. But it is important to the state, and we need to continue to find ways to bring access for people to continue to come to the state for all of our education facilities.
Well, thank you, Commissioner, for your comments, and I like them. It's kind of got a maroon tint to that tie that you have, and you're so sounding like an Aggie today.
It's SMU.
What I would say is that A&M is our flagship school in College Station is knocking on the door of $900 million of annual research. It has a tremendous economic impact on the entire state, and this is a very important part of the regional transportation network that we feel like we need to be able to get that out to the rest of the state. That's part of our history, is taking the knowledge out to the communities that can benefit from it, and you need a road to travel on to do that. Thank you very much.
Chairman, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, Tullos.
Thank you.
At this time, we're going to take a 10-minute break, and those that want to stay we're going to take up the 3 roads next. So we're going to take a 10-minute break.
Chairman, could we pose with the commission and our green light on the front steps?
On the steps?
Could we do that?
Please. We'll do that during the 10-minute break.
Yes, sir. Thank you.